Cozy Cloud Stories.
The Camel Who Collected Seashells. In the golden desert where the sun painted the sand in shades of orange and gold, lived a curious camel named Kamil. Unlike other camels who were content munching thorny bushes or carrying travelers across the dunes, Kamil had a dream. Kamil dreamed of the ocean. Every night when the stars twinkled like lanterns in the vast desert sky, Kamil would close his eyes and imagine waves crashing, seagulls soaring, and water stretching farther than the horizon. What does the sea sound like? He often wondered. What colors dance upon its waves? The desert was silent, except for the whispering winds. But Kamil's heart longed for songs of the sea. One bright morning, as he wandered near an old caravan route, Kamil spotted something unusual sticking out of the sand. He bent down and sniffed. It wasn't a stone, nor was it a bone. It was curved, shiny, and patterned with soft ridges. "A seashell," gasped Kamil, eyes wide with wonder. The traders passing by chuckled when they saw him. "Seashells are brought here by caravans," they explained. "They come from faraway oceans." But Kamil hardly heard them. He pressed the seashell to his ear. To his amazement, he heard a faint, magical whooshing sound, like waves rolling onto a shore. "It sings," whispered Kamil, his heart leaping with joy. "It sings the sea's song." From that day onward, Kamil began collecting seashells. Whenever he found one along the trade paths, dropped by merchants or blown by desert winds, he tucked it safely into a pouch slung across his hump. Each shell had its own tune. Some sang softly like lullabies, while others roared proudly like stormy seas. The other camels teased him gently. "What good are seashells in the desert? We store water, not shells." But Kamil didn't mind. Each shell was a tiny piece of the ocean he dreamed of. One evening, as the sun sank low and painted the sky pink, Kamil sat with his collection spread out before him. He closed his eyes, holding one shell after another to his ear. The desert faded away, and suddenly he could almost feel cool waves splashing against his hooves. Then something surprising happened. The shells began to glow faintly in the twilight. A soft breeze rustled through the dunes, carrying with it the salty smell of the sea. Kamil blinked in amazement. The shells weren't just singing. They were sharing memories of the ocean. He saw shimmering fish dart through coral gardens, dolphins leaping under the moonlight, and tides carrying little crabs to the shore. The seashells were storytellers, carrying tales from lands far away. Kamil felt tears sparkle in his eyes. "Even if I never see the ocean with my own eyes, I can still know its wonders through these shells." From then on, Kamil became known as the Story Camel. Children from desert villages would run to him in the evenings. They would sit in the sand as Kamil carefully picked a seashell, pressed it to his ear, and then shared the stories he heard. "This shell tells of a pearl hidden deep in the sea's heart," he would say. "This one sings of a ship that sails with white sails like clouds. And this tiny shell whispers of a baby turtle finding its way to the waves." The children listened wide-eyed, as the desert night filled with ocean songs. Kamil's seashells became treasures not of gold, but of imagination. They reminded everyone that even in the driest desert, one could dream of water. Even in the stillest silence, one could hear music. Years later, a kind trader offered to take Kamil to the ocean. "You've dreamed of it so long," he said. But Kamil smiled and shook his head. "The ocean already lives in my heart. I do not need to leave the desert to know its magic." That night, under the moonlight, Kamil rested among his seashells. Their songs lulled him to sleep, carrying him on gentle waves of dreams. And in the quiet desert, if you listen closely, you could almost hear it too, the ocean singing through a camel's collection of seashells. Dreams can bring faraway wonders close to us. With imagination, even the desert can hold the songs of the sea. If you like this story, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like this video. Sleep well and dream nice.